This first tissue is simple squamous epithelial. It lines our heart valves and heart chambers. We have 50,000 miles of blood capillaries made of this tissue. It has one nucleus. It also lines our alveoli sacs in our lungs where we can transfer oxygen to our blood capillaries. So very distinctive, simple squamous epithelial. Okay, this is simple cuboidal epithelial. It's like a ring of cube-shaped cells. It's found in our kidney nephrons and our thyroid glands, the follicles of our thyroid gland. It's just the whole ring. It's simple cuboidal epithelial. The whole ring makes the tube. Okay. So here's a transverse shot, and here's a straight-on tube. Ring of simple cuboidal epithelial cells. Okay, the third tissue is simple, meaning one layer, columnar epithelial. See, they're long rectangle shaped with one nucleus on both sides, so they line up the tube. Simple columnar epithelial. They'll line the uterine tube, which is the fallopian tube of the female. They'll line our GI tract, our stomach, our small intestine, our large intestine. Okay, if you see that columnar, which means a long rectangle shaped cell, you know it's simple columnar epithelial cells. Okay, this cell type is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelial cells, and these are ciliated. They line our respiratory system. They have, you see those nucleuses there? They're all discombobulated. There's a bunch of columnar cells there and some cuboidal cells, so they look funny. The nucleuses look funny. They line our nasal cavity, our bronchioles, our trachea, which is the windpipe. They catch dust. That cilia there catch dust. Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelial cells. Okay, this tissue type is stratified, which means more than one layer. Stratified squamous epithelial cells, that lines our skin. Okay, it's curtainized, that lines our skin. It flakes off every 27 days. It's non-curtainized types in our mouth, the anus, the vagina, lines inside of the mouth. Okay, so curtainized is in our skin, non-curtainized is in the mouth, the anus, the vagina. Okay, stratified squamous epithelial, like in our skin. This tissue is this tissue is stratified transitional epithelial. It's stretchable. That's what I mean. It lines our whole urinary system, like inside of the kidney pelvis, the uterus, the urinary bladder is stretches, and the urethra. So this is stratified transitional, means stretchable. Stratified transitional epithelial tissue. This tissue is areola connective tissue. It's found underneath our skin, on top of our muscles, and under organs. You can see it has elastic and collagen fibers there. And that clear area is the ground substance, the gel-like material. So this tissue is found underneath our skin, keeps us dry, keeps the bacteria away from us. It's areola connective tissue. This tissue is fat. On your word bank it'll say adipocyte. So there's subcutaneous fat and visceral fat. Visceral fat is the very deep fat underneath your skin, and subcutaneous fat is fat on top of your muscles. It has a nucleus, but you just can't see them. The nucleus and all the organelles are squished to the side. Okay, so it's found really all over the body. Adipocyte. This tissue is reticular connective tissue. The book says it looks like a cobweb. See those reticular fibers that the air is on? It's found in your liver, your spleen, the kidneys, it keeps them together. You don't want your liver to be a mush ball, do you? So this reticular connective tissue is made up of the spleen, the liver. Okay, reticular connective tissue. This tissue is dense, regular connective tissue. That's our tendons and our ligaments, like the ACL and the Achilles tendon, anterior cruciate ligaments. Tendons connect muscle to bone, and ligaments connect bone to bone. So that's what it looks like. Dense, regular connective tissue. This tissue is dense, irregular connective tissue. It's found in the dermis of our skin. Dense, irregular connective tissue found underneath our skin in the dermis. Gives it that gel-like material. This is our first type of cartilages. This is hyaline cartilage. It's found in our nose. It's found between the sternum and the ribs. It's found at the end of bones. This cartilage, the embryo's bones are made of this hyaline cartilage. See that? There's chondrocyte cells. The pink area is the matrix. The matrix is the gel-like material. The cells are called chondrocytes in the lacunae cavities. So that is the most numerous type of cartilage in the body. And this is a microscopic view of it. It is hyaline cartilage. This is elastic cartilage. See that? It's found in our ear. It's found in the epiglottis. So there again is, if you see that two eyeballs looking at you, that's chondrocyte cells in the lacunae cavity. And this has elastin cartilage, very stretchable. Okay? So that is, if you see that, is elastic cartilage. This is the fibrocartilage. Fibrocartilage, where the chondrocyte cells, and this happens to be, that's the cartilage found between our vertebrae. The bulging disc, this is the type, what it looks like under a microscope. And it's also found in our shock absorbers in our knees, labrums and meniscus, between our vertebrae. Nothing else looks like bone tissue. See the ring? That's the, and the little black dot there, that's the central canal. The ring, the whole ring is the osteon, made up of laminae rings. And the little black specks there are osteocyte cells. So that's what our bone looks like under a microscope. Bone tissue. Okay, we have three type muscle in the human body, and this type is skeletal muscle. 40% of my body is made of these skeletal muscles. That's what I look like on a microscope. They have multiple nucleuses. See the white line? That's the cell membrane stacked on top of each other. These skeletal muscle cells are fibers. They run the length of the muscle. So my biceps brachii, they run about 3 inches. Okay, and those striations, if you can see those striations, the vertical lines, they're the striations. They help us move. And the white horizontal line is the cell membranes stacked on top of each other. Okay, so that's a bunch of cells there. Only cell in the human body has more than one nucleus. Skeletal muscle cells. Okay, these cells are found in your heart, cardiac muscles. See, they only have one nucleus. See the jigsaw puzzles keeping the two cells together, intercalated discs. Intercalated disc, and they're striated too. Cardiac muscle, only found in the heart. Here's smooth muscle, just one smooth muscle, what it looks like under a microscope. There's thousands of these. Make up a smooth muscle. They're hormonally controlled. See, one nucleus, they're fat in the middle and tapered on the end. So all the sphincters in the body, your iris in your eye, the uterus. So this smooth muscle is all over the body. It contracts the GI tract, the gastrointestinal tract, this whole line with it. So it contracts and moves the food down your GI tract. Okay, smooth muscle. Okay, tissue number 19, these are nervous tissues. Neurons are found in your brain, your spinal cord, your peripheral nerves. Okay, nervous tissue, nerves, neurons, they call them a lot of things.